This is a comparison of the Matrix to real life that I'm sure you haven't heard before. I don't know where I came up with this, but I'm sure it's just been from years of reflecting on this idea, which many people have spoken about. In this comparison, you don't need to escape it. You need to understand it, and you need to understand how to participate in it. You need to be aware of what the machines are doing to harvest your energy. So remember back to the movie, everybody's plugged in, and humankind is being used as an energy source because we give off electromagnetic energy. So the machines are the multiple multinational, international technology companies and associations, businesses that make up the entire fabric of our capitalist society. They're the media companies, the advertising agencies, the tech giants, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Google. These are the machines. These machines aren't evil like they are portrayed in the movie The Matrix. They are simply entities. They just exist, and they're run and governed by men and women just like you and me, who want things, who feel things, who have stresses and worries, and who want to have a better life for themselves and for their families. This is just their means of acquiring energy, currency, money, so that they can live that ideal life that everybody wants to live. So they can remove their stresses and worries. They can solve their problems. The people who run these machines are doing a job, just like you're doing a job, just like I'm doing a job. Now, the energy that they take from you is your time and your focus. And they don't do this maliciously, and they don't want to steal this from you. It's just the way that it is. The internet was invented. All of these companies began to be invented. And this is where we find ourselves now. This is the reality that we live. Technology does not slow down. We had written word in newspapers and books, then we had radio, then we had television, then the internet came, and all of those other things still exist. But the main thing that consumes most of our time, energy, focus is these internet machines. When you spend time on these platforms, so you're plugged into them, you give them energy, and they continue to grow and expand and spread further. Now, this is where the energy comes in. You're giving energy to the machines, right? But what does that mean if it doesn't translate into something that is a comparable metaphor to the Matrix movies? In this instance, let's paint a picture in our minds of the reality that follows these companies around, these entities. They only exist because of advertising dollars. Anytime you're on your platform of choice, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, every few videos you watch, if you're consuming short content, is an advertisement. And each and every advertisement is specifically targeted to you. If you're seeing something, it's because you're supposed to be seeing it, because you're likely interested in purchasing the thing that is the entire purpose of that ad. When an ad is viewed, the platform that presented that ad to your eyes gets paid, and the content creator whose ad that played in between or on also gets paid. Now, when an ad is viewed enough times, so you have to have multiple points of contact of somebody seeing an ad for a purchase to be made. But when someone sees this ad enough times and it's been targeted to them and they're excited by what they're seeing in the ad, they make a purchase. And when they make that purchase, the advertising agency that made the ad gets paid, and the product of whatever that ad was about gets paid. The business behind the actual advertisement itself. Social media, television, any type of information sharing platform doesn't exist to add value to your life, at least not anymore. Now they exist because they are the machine, and you are feeding that machine every time you interact with content, information on those platforms. They exist to make money and nothing else. They are businesses, multi-billion-dollar businesses. But you don't need to unplug from this. You don't need to completely remove yourself from this ecosystem that we're now a part of, because a lot of the time it can be extremely beneficial. I am able to create these videos and put them out there and share thoughts and ideas that I find interesting with other people, and it gives people their own perspectives that they can roll with. Maybe it inspires somebody to start a business or to just think about things differently. That makes these apps a great tool. You can also learn how to do anything that you want to do on these apps. You can run a business on these apps. They are inherently good. However, if you hop on an app and you're mindlessly using it, then you are, in essence, like Neo or any of these other characters in the movie The Matrix, who are plugged in to these pods, living unconsciously, not living at all. You're on autopilot, and you don't notice that you're on autopilot, because that's sort of the very nature of it, right? In the movie The Matrix, anybody who was unplugged, they obviously didn't realize that they were plugged into this thing, feeding energy to the machines that had taken over the world. So spend as much time off of your phone as humanly possible. This is a topic I do touch on quite a bit, and I think it's very important, and it's something that I've been experimenting with myself quite a bit. The very nature of my work that I do is to go on the apps to research and to post things and to answer messages or comments. And it can be difficult to have the self-discipline to not overindulge, because in doing so, you lose your free will and you have a massive disruption in the health of your consciousness. So consume intentionally and try to create more than you consume. Only consume to get just enough inspiration or understanding of something to then take that and create things, because that's what we are as human beings. Rick Rubin touches on this really eloquently in his book, The Creative Act. He argues that every single person on the face of the earth is creative. Whether you believe in creation or the Big Bang, it is something that you can't argue with. We all are creative. The very act of us being born is creating. So when you aren't creating things, you tend to create stories about yourself. And this is where anxiety, fear, restlessness can really stem from. And if you go on a tangent of zero creation and 100% almost consumption, then you go to a really dark place. You go to this weird limbo place where it's almost like you are Neo in the movie and you're aware of the Matrix, but for some reason you keep plugging yourself into it and you have a hard time escaping, because there is the trade-off, right? In the movie, being unplugged from the Matrix is depressing. And I think everybody's survival instincts are just kind of kicking in, like, yeah, we gotta survive and kill off the machines, but they live underground, they eat slop, it's gray and dingy, they're wearing rags. It's no life that's great. And that can be the hang-up when you're trying to force yourself to not overconsume content on the apps, because it feels good for a time, and then when you stop doing it, you're not getting that dopamine drip. So you almost go into sort of like a withdrawal. You feel horribly uncomfortable when you're really forcing yourself to not fall into this habit, this addiction that you built up over time. So remember the purpose of the very existence of these apps that you consume content on. They are only there to make money. Their job is to get to know you on a deeper level, show you content that you will like, keep you on the app, and see more ads. Because the only reason they exist is because there's ads on them. It would be different if it was a membership thing. Netflix hasn't fallen into this trap yet. Prime has. They're already showing ads, even on the paid subscription-based model. In a capitalistic society, generally everything that you get and have access to, there's a price tag attached to it. Either you pay with your time and your focus and your energy, because a lot of the time, especially say on YouTube, you have to watch a certain chunk of the ad, so you're paying for the use. Or you have to put your credit card on file and you get charged every month and you're paying that way. But regardless, that's your energy, your focus, your time that is being given to these entities that we're obsessed with. I hope you like this one. Thanks so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, I invite you to subscribe. And if you're looking for something to watch next, check out this video on how to instantly be happier. Take care.